Union.
Hello, hello. We have such a special show today to share with you. I am Deborah LeeAnn,
Susanne, Joie.
and today we have a guest, Patricia Wald Hopkins. Let me just tell you a little bit about her and how we're all connected through the School of Light Collective. We were some of the original co-founders that created this, I don't know, structure of curriculum based on the light being that we are and the light beings that are here to support us on living through these great changes. So a little bit about Trish is she's a voice of Gaia oracle and is a new earth leadership mentor. She's also a modern mystic, infinite self catalyst, and a soul liberation guide for anyone who is ready to break free from old paradigms that are limiting us. And we know that we're awakening to this infinite self, but we need some support to get there. And there's also this divine design to live as a voice of Gaia. So if this is calling to you, there will be a way of how you can reach Trish and learn more about her programs in the commentary below. She's also a Gene Keys ambassador and guide, as Susanne and I are. And as a co-founder of the School of Light, she also is the person who helped to channel the light beings that have created the 5 pillars of support for the School of Light Collective. She's written a bunch of amazing books and has a Poems from the Heart, most recently, that is out. And she also is the creator of the Infinite Self Oracle card deck. And you may have seen us as we pull some of those cards from her deck on occasion in our morning musings or in the Tuning In series. As we complete this series, the last 4.5 weeks have been around bringing about the archetype of truth telling. As a light being of the School of Light, the truth teller is here in all of us, but she is a unique light being that is here now to help each of us to learn to open and express and show up and speak up. So let me just say welcome to you, Trish.
I'm so
Welcome.
delighted to be here with you. Yeah, thank you.
Susanne, do you want to add anything about, we've been talking about the truth teller for the last 4 weeks. Anything I mean, this is the integration call, and then we'll have a little mini activation here as well today.
Well, I'll just remind the listeners during the course of the past month, the pulse that has brought forth this truth teller is leadership, of course, and the medicine of mindfulness and the gift of guidance and the gift of understanding. So with those woven together, the truth teller, as it's coming forward, it's got a really nice support system to assist it. And I think Trish will probably talk about those 4 key elements: the activation of the truth teller, and feel the energy that is associated with this archetype.
Yeah, it's been a big, meaty month of Leo energy as we opened this whole portal. Trish, please share with us this whole truth teller thing. Why do you think she wants to be heard right now?
Well, as you know, in our country, we are in an election year.
Really?
Right? Right. So I think that we're being called to speak our truth, so that what is going to be on our path for the next 4 years or more, that we have our say in it. I mean, I really feel strongly that that's one of the reasons that we are talking here today, is that we need to speak up about what is in our hearts. It's not about necessarily changing anybody's agendas, by attacking or being outwardly aggressive. It's just tuning into what is true in here in your heart, and living and speaking from that place and creating from that place, so that as we move in the timeline towards the election and beyond, that we are still in integrity regardless of what unfolds.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's my sense anyway.
So the activation sequence, which we visited in each of the pulses in the last 4 weeks, do you have access to that in front of you, or shall I refresh your memory what they are?
Sure. Why don't you go ahead and refresh?
Okay. I don't have the gene key numbers, Trish. I think, Susanne, you do. And do you want to go ahead and share that with the gifts for each of them?
Sure. So the first was the act, like the start of the whole enchilada. So it's gene key 31, all on leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And we move to the evolution of this light being, which is 41, and that's all on anticipation. And out of the anticipation, invention is born out of the radiance of this light being, and bringing it down into the earth, into the core purpose, is gene key 44, which is all about teamwork.
So beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
You can almost see the light around each of those words.
Yeah.
And I would love to encourage each of us who are listening in this moment to drop in and feel those words in your body. How can you embody leadership even more as a truth teller? And breathing into, what does it feel like to be in anticipation? I mean, it's almost, Susanne and I were talking about the childlike playfulness of, what are we cooking up? What are we imagining versus staying in the dreamland? But we're actually like moving forward in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's when the invention happens, right? And as we continue evolving, we are reinventing ourselves and this world every day. Or maybe not reinventing, we're inventing the new every day, the emerging.
Mm-hmm.
And teamwork. I feel like this is so fun because we haven't been together in a long time. And I'm so enjoying that this gives us that opportunity to feel that energy of teamwork. So
mm-hmm. Definitely.
Thank you. I hope you guys can feel it too, because it is like so yummy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's giddy.
Mm-hmm.
Happy energy.
So how do we want to play with that? How can we anchor that a bit more? How can we, is there anything that the Akashic wisdom that pours through you all the time, Trish, is there something that you might want to come forth now to support us as we expand through this energy? Or embody this energy. That's the word I want to use.
Yeah, I'm seeing this image right now of this light being coming in through our crown with that 31, with that leadership, like just like opening up the crown, the head space, to speaking our truths. We start, it's very up here, but then it's coming down as it evolves, and it's dropping deeper into the body and almost occupying the ajna, or the third eye. Mm-hmm. Feeling that 41, seeing the vision, that emanation, that prime emanation. And so those are like two very active kind of things, right? As it is in an activation sequence. The first two keys, the life, work, and evolution, are very much what you do every day. Like it's the work. And as that happens, it's like it's dropping deeper into the body, and that radiance, right? The radiance of the 24, that invention, like, but it's coming, like you said, in a joyful place from the heart. It's that it's right here. It's not here anymore. It's dropped all the way. So you can like feel that right in there. And then it just drops and anchors right, down through the lower chakras into the root and into your earth star chakra and into Mother Earth, with that core stability in the 44 of teamwork. Because now you're on the land now, you've touched down with your team, right? And you brought that energy, the leadership, and the emanation, like, what are we here to emanate into the future? What are we anticipating, inventing now from the heart? And that we can, what is the word? Not implement is not necessarily the word I want, but it's like, I'm feeling like it starts to spread across the earth grids. This new leadership energy, this new invention around leadership. And so it's just, it's a full embodiment. It's like it came, and you have been doing such a beautiful job over this last, year of opening up this channel for this leadership to happen by speaking your truth through each one of the pulses, right? Each gene key for a year. I'm just so proud of you guys.
We are too.
I was like, woo, that's a lot. That's an initiation in itself, right? For speaking your truth about each one of those transits.
Yeah, so, we have the commitment key is very active somewhere prominently in Susanne's chart. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you for anchoring that in. So, that's what came through to me initially as you were talking. I mean, I'm happy to share some more, but I'd like to hear how you received that first, or how you can maybe share that with the community in your words as well.
Yeah, Susanne.
For me, it feels the energy is palpable because it feels there's such a freshness to it. And as we embody it, each one of us listening to this, we also can feel the ripple effects of it throughout, the ethers. So it's not like, in a forest where if the tree fell, but it didn't hear it. It really is this time, this whole era is shifting. And this is like the coming of this new way of being in leadership and leading with your heart. And in community with others that resonate and are working towards the same goals together simultaneously in a very a new way in which we can create new possibilities upon new possibilities. And when something isn't working, we can identify those things very quickly, and we can identify the things that are working and adjust as needed. And I think, the times of us saying, well, we're just going to do it because it's not broken. It's not, that's old energy, right? And so, if we can improve it and make it more efficient and make it much more harmonious, then I think that this is what we are bringing forward into this new era.
Yeah, I just want to piggyback on that because Anne, who we were when we first started entering this realm, is not the same person. I mean, I feel like my evolution is so fast. I'm like, who's that woman in the mirror? I mean, it's like, she's not the same person I saw last week. So there's, what are we noticing about ourselves that is wanting to be nurtured and brought forward? And oh man, there's so much that the cleaning out and the clearing out and the letting go and the releasing and all of that is also falling away. And how can we welcome all of that change.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and stop fighting it.
Go with the flow.
Yeah, I mean, I know that, but there's still those fearful parts that are, which I'm going to put a plug in right now. You will have an opportunity to receive an activation package. That's, I don't know how, we haven't even decided what to call it yet. On a healing activation and transmission that was recorded a while ago, all around the truth teller archetype. And there's a beautiful healing in there that is generational, ancestral, and that will come with a playbook so that you can track what you're feeling. But then also, and I love this support that you do, Trish, with the anointing oils, these perfumes that are created specifically to support us as we embody and step more clearly into these archetypal energies, I guess.
Mm.
So there's, which I think I need right now, because I can feel my fear starting to be there. So any other wisdom or sharing or healing or thoughts to add to this to support us all?
Yeah, one thing is really wanting to be spoken about in this activation sequence for the truth teller. A really key aspect of it, in order to create from that heart space and deep connection with your authentic essence, you have to cultivate silence. You need to be in your own energy. So there's a lot of energy, like you can pull in, from the metamorphic field, these beautiful, what I'm going to call sacred geometries for creating things on earth that are at a high frequency. But the only way to distill those into something that speaks from the heart is through that silence of just being in communion with your higher self, with God, with source, with spirit, whatever you want to call it, with Gaia. She's source, she's part of source, right? Is to coming into that heart sanctuary and that silence, so that when you finally do get into the lower 3D, realms, and you start physically creating things, they're in full alignment with your essence, or the group's essence, like our group essence, right? We might sit in our own solitude, but we might also sit together, right? Like they used to do when they would lie on a floor with their heads touching in a circle, and just communing with the heart of the group. That's what wanted to be shared.
Yeah.
I got chills.
That's fantastic. And, I'm learning how to allow myself that delight of dropping into the unified field with my various circles and communities. And it is so delicious. I was telling Susanne, I said, I just get like tears of joy when I get to play and practice in that space.
Yeah. It is a beautiful space that I've learned to cultivate for myself and enjoy. Deeply nourishing.
Absolutely.
And I really believe that we as a collective at the School of Light are heading towards that as well. Yes, we have the activations, but there's also a deeper communing that we are being called forward, like almost magnetically. It's unavoidable at this point.
Right. Colliding. I mean, instead of this orbiting thing, which I think we've been doing for so long, and we're all doing and growing in our own areas, and now we're going, oh, wait a minute. When I come together with Susanne, this kind of magic happens. Ooh, when I come together with Susanne and Trish, this kind of magic happens. When I come, so these fractal families and lines of connection I was talking with somebody from Scotland this morning. They're like neural pathways that we're creating. We called it a crystalline grid, right? Remember, we would talk about like having these points of light around the planet. And now I'm feeling like we're like this brain that is going, okay, here's a new neural connection. Oh, here's a new, oh, this feels good. So then we're lighting up in here, which is lighting up. I'm sure you have a voice of Gaia kind of wisdom around that too. So the
I
unlocking
think
of the
that's
genie.
beautifully said. Yeah, I feel the alchemy that happens now for us because as a group, we've been together a long time.
Yeah.
I 9 years or so, right? Depending on who you're talking about within the founding group, but we're in our bodies now. We feel safe to be in our bodies now, right? So we're not orbiting and dipping in and flying out. We're here now. We're ready. I really feel that, and it's not there's no, it's clear. Like the heart field is clear. There's not this worry about being left out or not, being or taking up too much space. It's like we're comfortable with who we are now. I really feel that shift, and I believe that's something that we offer, as a collective, for people to feel comfortable being who they are fully.
Right. And it doesn't mean that we're all there. Go ahead, Susanne.
I was just going to say, welcome.
Yeah.
It
Welcome.
feels that way, right? Yeah.
Well, it's
and the syntropy that we're playing in, right? It's this to me, it just seems like a natural thing that I keep doing over and over again when I'm in these different communities, and I'm like, oh. So there's these mudras that we've learned through the gene keys as well, are another way of embodying and dropping back into this energy on this plane, so Susanne, I know you've got some pearls in there. What are you holding on to?
I'm just tickled pink just thinking about everyone's gifts coming forth in this new era and owning them. And as you own them, you're speaking your truth. And as you speak your truth, you're finding the people that you want to commune with, that light you up, that they are celebrating your gifts. And together we can build something magical and new that hasn't been yet seen yet before.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And that's true. It's leadership with authentic humility, right? It's like you're not afraid to show up and sound your truth and speak your truth, and you're not being arrogant, and you're not hiding yourself anymore either.
Yeah.
Right. It's very much very, very palpable, that shift.
I love that. And intellectual humility and courageous authenticity are two of the terms I use all the time in the leadership work I do. And they're concepts that for some reason are new to a lot of people. But once they open to them, it's like, oh, how could I not have seen that before or felt that before or known that before on all my levels?
Yeah, that is, so there's that piece. And then there's this other part, right? Where, yes, we're humble in our leadership, and authentically just being ourselves. And sometimes, and if you look at the image that is with the truth teller, the current image that it's, it's a mama mountain lion, right? A cougar, a panther, whatever you want to, call it. And she's fierce. She will stand her ground, her boundaries, and not let anybody influence her path.
Right.
It's very strong Sekhmet energy. It's like, or it's the lioness, right? It's very, very.
She's got that embodiment that radiates out from her, that creates that natural I don't like the term boundary necessarily, but that really big aura that
Or
everybody's like, oh yeah, I feel you.
mm-hmm.
You don't even have to say a word. That image, without even hearing the roar, we're feeling the roar,
Yeah. And it's just about, it's not a mean, like intentionally mean. It's just, oh, it's here. And it's, so there's that way that we're all in syntropy and teamwork and together, and the shamanic way of the bee. I don't know if if anybody's tapped into that, right? But we're still intact
Mm-hmm.
and connected, but there's still individuality that gives that authentic flavor, like the whole mixture of whatever cocktail we're creating together as a group, right? It's still, there's still all the elements in there, and so I really love that. I love her.
Thank you for finding that image to create that
It found me.
essence. Oh, of course. Of course.
It found me, yes. And it may evolve over time as we go deeper and deeper into the
Absolutely.
mysteries of this archetype in our collective.
Yeah. So what do you think, Susanne? A card, a tone, a sharing of something that wants to come through, some other wisdom to close with?
I'm feeling if there is any light language that wants to come through, Patricia, I would love to hear from the truth teller.
Yeah. So let's see. She would like a question.
Susanne, go.
Is there a better way or a more effective way for me to embody my truth teller?
Mshtalerito maler itai shoy like a day in day I moit chai doi shanaili neo a show an yamash Hineleri ai kya o in day ashul itai and the only English words that I have for you is there's this ruby red color in your root that just really wants your attention. Like it's mm-hmm.
It's funny because I just kept hearing, get out of your own way. It's all there. It's like open. It's wake up to it. So that's what I got. And I
Thank you so much.
so appreciate that.
There's a root activation.
Yeah, who knew? Let's all
You
just
got to root
wiggle
that
around
voice
on our
in, right? The
yeah.
voice has got to be rooted.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, if there's any questions from all of these various modalities and things that we've shared with you today, all around the truth teller archetype, the energy, the light being that she is for us at the School of Light Collective, we welcome them. And there will be information on how to be able to get a hold of your own activation and playbook and the anointing perfume below. So with the link on how to get that for yourself. So anything on closing?
I feel complete.
I'm complete.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This has fed my ecstatic
Wonderful.
being on so many levels. So, all right. Till our next time together, take excellent, excellent care.